Violent Professionals, Milano Trema, personally, I think it's one of the best crime movies of this period, which was a very dark period in Italian life, in Italian politics, in Italian economy, everything. Can you tell us a little bit how these movies reflected life in Italy?
In that period in Italy, there is Brigate Rosse, several incredible crime, political crimes, and that movie I think, have a chance to show to the audience what's happened. In the way that I shot this movie is trying to do something not only political, but also to give to the audience the chance to see something spectacular. In that period of the cinema, the kind of the escape with the car is the best that we can do in Italy, and I think also in Europe. The difference between that movie with some other movie in that period shot in the United States is no similar, but could be compatible.
Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah, I understand. But in a lot of ways, these movies are way more realistic than the American gangster movies and the crime movies.
Because our reality is that.
The reality was the same. Yeah. Maybe you could pass the mic to Luc, because we want to ask him some questions as well. Luc, the star of the movie.
Because I am a little bit younger.
Yes. Look, how do you remember the shooting of this film? Because you shot many polizieschi movies back in the 70s, for Stelvio Massi, Fernando Di Leo, guys like that. Michele Massimiliano Tarantini as well. No, yeah, well, many great movies. Please, there are many fans here in the audience. Could you tell a little bit about your experience back then?
The first thing, it was my first commissaire. And I think it was important because it was contestation. I mean, if you expose exactly how other things, the public can understand easier. So it was a pleasure to shoot with this gentleman, who is still gentleman. And it was my first very important movie, and it has been a huge success. So it was a pleasure because to shoot with Sergio, it's like if you are in your own family. Maybe he's not always calm, but he looks always calm. And he's a good director too.
Yeah. In what ways was he a good director if you compare him to the other guys that you worked with?
I mean, it's hard to do comparison, between a director. It's hard. No, it's a pleasure because we had sort of confidence and we knew what we want, and I could look in his eyes to know if what we want came out. Then again, sometimes I have to rub in to hear something he told me, and sometimes he was in the other way. Okay. So it was a pacific collaboration.
Yeah, I can understand. If I could go back to Sergio for a moment. I think that we could talk about the crime movies all night, but there are also many other movies that Sergio made and that people may want to know about. It's one of the nicknames you could give Sergio is Grandmaster Giallo, because he made some of the best Italian thrillers of the 70s. We might want to go a little bit into that. When you started in the Giallo field, which was in 1970, with Lo strano Vigio della Signora, how was the situation then? You came onto the success of Dario Argento. How did you find your own way in the Giallo movie?
I think the best way that I speak Italian, that in that way I can give you the chance to her to translate, just to see if she translates much better my English.
I'm not a professional translator.
Anyway, just just
from the team of
just to taste you, okay?
Try me out.
Nel momento che si sono fatti questi film thriller,
At the time when these giallo films were being made,
il cinema italiano, grazie al film di Dario Argento, L'uccello delle piume di cristallo,
thanks to the movie
of Dario Argento,
Argento, I can't remember.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks.
il change was more strong, fu molto più violento di quando i gialli precedenti che si erano girati in Italia erano.
Yeah. Thanks to that film of the Argento, the change was
More stronger.
yeah.
In that way, I shot this movie trying to do this movie with more action, more sequence, very hard, very huge. In that way, the movie has had a good success, and with that, it was my first movie in that genre. I did for 3 or 4 years. More some other movies like The Scorpion Tile and Torso is one of my best movie in that genre, and also The Stranger Wise, The Stranger Wise is what I already told. The Black Cat. In that way, I have a chance to maybe to do better, or I don't know if it's better. And after this period, I start to shoot in several movies like Milano Trema, and all my life I try always to change genre because I can't do always the same type of movie. I had to be. I like to have a feeling that I can change always genre of movie, because otherwise it's like something like too much usually. I don't like to do always the same movies. For that I shot more or less 66 movies of my life, and mostly it's in all the genre: comic, action, thriller, sentimental. In that way, I had a chance to do all the kind of movie.
Yeah, you worked in many different genres.
I don't know if I do that well, but anyway.
We think so. But, well, you worked in many genres, and maybe one question is interesting. The movie we're going to see afterwards, La Morte Sospetta di una Minoren, is really a kind of it's a wonderful film, but it's a bit weird in that it has many genres mixed together. It's a comedy a little bit, there's some comic elements, it's a giallo, and there's a little bit crime involved. Could you tell a little bit more about this movie?
This movie was, I shot this movie after 3 or 4 years after the Milano Trema. In that way, when I try to do this kind of movie, I try to change and to be more ironic, more different. At the same time, it's a film with very strong, but at the same time, it's ironic. I think I have some solution on the story that I remember that the people was also smiling at the movie, because it has some sequence with many humorism. Okay?
Yeah, it's a funny film as well. It goes all kinds of ways.
Did we see that movie now?
Afterwards. Well, it just was the Milano Trema, of course.
And what is the name?
La Morte Sospetta will be after this.
Yeah.
So, we were on the giallo. It's still a little bit about the giallo, because it's still the field that you're very famous for, and people like Quentin Tarantino have said in many interviews that he's a really big fan of yours, especially Torso. I can understand Torso. You have a very good story about the last 20 minutes of Torso. Could you tell us a little bit about your view on this?
The last part of those, I don't know if people saw that movie, is very, very aggressive, and at the same time is a very big thriller, because we see one murder inside one house, and where he did crime, and he don't know that there is another girl covered in one room upstairs, and it's very, very nice, because there is no dialogue. All the sequence is just imagination, imagine, and about a situation, a very, very, very hard situation. I think that movie was done also from Merenda. I think it's a good idea.
He plays the good guy this
Good
time.
guy in the movie. No, you don't say that, because if you don't see
I've seen it already.
Okay.
A good guy can change, yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe it's good to look about the period when you were making those movies. It's a time which will never come back, because it was the golden age of Italian exploitation film, B movies, gialli, western. Looking back to that, what did you remember with a big fondness? For sure, Luc.
The point, unfortunately, I mean, I did sort of similar way of Sergio, because after having done three commissaires, I was tired. I really want to do something else. And I did some comedy. I did a movie with Tim Cobras, with everything except comedy. And I did 2 or 3 comedy really nice with Gabriele Cassetti, Valentina Cortese, Luigi Cove, etc. Ed è strano perché Sergio changed also because he didn't want to do, and strangely we never did comedy movie together. But the one with Di Leo was gorgeous. What was it? Amici di Nichezzara.
Fernando De Leo.
Pensione Paura di Barilli was a fantastic movie, strange. So I try also to change. I think I don't know if it's more easy for the director or for the actors. I think he did better than I, because I stopped about 37 movies and he's 66.
I think you did pretty well.
I quit for a long time.
Yeah, but it surely was a golden age of Italian cinema. And well, the funny thing is, with we were talking about this earlier. You work with people like Alain Delon and very famous other actors, and then maybe a few weeks later, you were shooting Poliziesco in Milan. Yeah, it was a wonderful time. It went from
Yes,
all the way.
I was not thinking so much about what and what. I mean, you are speaking about movie with Veron or McQueen. It's another world, and it's not the world that I like. So when I came in Italy, I really realized that my origins were there. And in fact, I went to see an agent, and I stayed 12 years without going back in France for only for funeral.
Yeah, but you never thought, of course you never have a clear idea what these movies are going to mean tens and tens of years later, but how do you, what also as a question for Sergio, we were in 2018, these movies were made 40, 50 years ago. What do you think about the fact that these movies have become real cult movies now? Back in the day, you were not thinking about that.
Just words, and then I give the thing to Sergio. First of all, it was contestation. It was showing all the things were not going well in Italy and somewhere else. So there were some difficulties. Sometimes the distribution didn't like the politician people. So we were disturbing them. And I think that they disturbed us. And we were disturbing them so much that I think it's quite normal that 40 years later, and in fact they were considered like série B. In fact now they are strike cult, because they were saying unfortunately, the same thing will happen now. I mean, so now the Italian cinema is, Sergio will speak better because I'm not following everything, but they were powerful and they have been recognized so many years ago. Then for the joke and for the fun, let me tell you that when I see Milano Trema, I got fever for 6 weeks.
Okay, let's Sergio, what is your, if you look back at that?
That period that in Italy will do more or less 350 movies each year, mostly of that is genre movie, western, action, and so on. And that way it was an industry, but the critic value is always against this kind of movie. And that is stupid because in that way, in that period, the Italian productions was one of the best on the world. After the American, the Occidental cinema, of course. The Indian is another way to make a movie. And in that period, our kind of movie is also in something that could be the beginning of the United European Association, because in all my movie, also Milano Trema, and maybe also that one that you go to see now, is in co-production with French, with Germany, or with Spain. That way is a kind of co-production, international co-production. And I shot several movies in Spain, in French, in Switzerland, never here, unfortunately, but in England. That way is a real
international cinema.
Cinema, and especially European cinema. In that moment, that the European Union is in trouble, could be something that can give you to the people the new way to remember. In that period, we had the chance to do something that I hope could be another time in the future of our country.
There were real European movies,
Yeah,
which are not really made nowadays anymore like that.
At that moment, it's so
It's
difficult.
true, yeah.
So difficult. There are not many movies co-production in Italian, French, or Spanish.
No.
I don't see at all.
No, not genre movies anyway.
Or in German also.
Excellent. There's some time for questions from the audience. Is there anyone who wants to ask some questions to these guys?